In this video, we will talk about the triple bottom line. Let's start with what is the triple bottom line. So, the triple bottom line is a theory that says that companies commit to focusing on social and environmental concerns just as they do on profits. So, we all know that any company does its work or operates for profits. Everybody works for profits. But the concept of triple bottom line, which is closely related to sustainability, says that you should be concerned about social and environmental impacts of your business or work just as you do about profits. So you should be equally concerned about social environmental impacts and profits. The three bottom lines that we talk about in the context of triple bottom line are three P's, that is profit, people and planet. These are the three P's because of which this is called the triple bottom line. And we call it a bottom line because you need to take care of all these three. This is a minimum criteria. This is the bottom line. By bottom line, you usually mean a reference point or a starting point, minimum level that you are expected to attain. So the minimum level of profits, the minimum level of people, that is the social impact, and the minimum level of planet, that is the environmental impact of your business. So who coined the term? So in 1994, John Elkington. He was a British management consultant, and he was very worried about sustainability and the fact that businesses were not really concerned about sustainable practices. So in 1994, he talked about the triple bottom line, and he believed that a company should not only work for profits but they should also work for the people and the planet. What does the triple bottom line do? The next question that comes to our mind is, what does it do? So a triple bottom line, basically what it does, it measures the financial, social and environmental performance of a company over time. So what it does is it will see the performance of a company. It will evaluate the performance of a company over time on three factors, on three parameters. The first one is financial, which is very obvious. If company is working, there is a financial aspect to it. The second one is social, and the third parameter is environmental. So what the triple bottom line does is that it evaluates a company on all these three factors, that is the financial, social and the environmental. It says that if a firm looks at profit only and it ignores people and planet, that is the other two bottom lines, it cannot account for the cost of doing business. So this is also closely related to life cycle analysis and eco costs, which we will talk about in other videos. And what it means to say is that the social cost, that is for example, if a company is not taking into account the social cost, the harm it may cause socially or the environmental harm it may cause, then it is not accounting for all of its activities. So it is so if you are only considering the profits, then that is not a full complete account of the cost of your business. Now the three P's or the three bottom lines that we have is profits, people and planet. And now we'll understand about each of them in detail. Let's start with profit. So profit is a measure of a corporate profit calculated from financial accounts. So this is very clear. Once you see the financial sheet of a company, you'll understand whether it is running into profit or it is incurring some losses. So this is a measure of how financially stable a company is. The second one is people. Now this is important to understand because it might be a new concept for some of you. So what it measures is how socially responsible a company is. What do you mean by being socially responsible? So firstly, when we say people, in the three P's, the second P is people. And when we say people, what does that mean? So people comprises of the employees of the company, the labor involved, and the community where the corporation does its business. So these are mainly the three components of this people, so to speak, bottom line, in the triple bottom line. And where we see that by people we mean that a company's employees, the labor involved, and the community where a corporation does its business. So what does people mean? So it looks into how a company benefits the society. So by its various activities, by its business, it evaluates whether a company is of any social value for the society, whether it is doing something which will benefit the community and the society. And some of the things that are considered in this are fair wages. So one is that a company should give a fair amount of wages to their employees, whatever their due is, or whatever is the fair account of the work that they are doing. The second one is humane working conditions. So the working conditions shouldn't be such that they are not good for the health of employees, for example, or maybe they do not have access to good sanitary infrastructure. So these are examples of some inhumane working conditions. The lighting should be proper, and it is generally observed that in the past decades, uh, after the advent of industrialization, uh, many companies started outsourcing their work. And why were they outsourcing their work was because in the developed nations, the concept of working conditions evolved more faster than how it did in the developing countries. And so their labor laws and their basically the benchmark working conditions were higher than what was expected in the developing nations. So by outsourcing their work, they didn't have to pay as much, and the workers were not really working in good working conditions. So this is something which might impact this parameter of the uh, triple bottom line, basically the people bottom line. And this is something that the companies should avoid. So the working conditions should be humane. The lighting should be proper, there should be proper ventilation, the employees should have access to proper sanitary options. So and the next is CSR activities related to the communities. So these days, in order to build a good trust within the community, companies are expected to engage in CSR activities. So some of the portion uh, of the CSR is mandated by the law, and some of it is done by companies for their image. So uh, these CSR activities, when they are related to, for example, education or healthcare, this is a good indicator for the people bottom line, because it reflects good on a company and it shows their commitment towards social a good social atmosphere, a good social working condition. And the third one is the planet. By planet, we mean that how environmentally responsible a company is. And what does this mean? How can companies show that they are environmentally responsible? So one of the things that companies do in order to be socially responsible, sorry, environmentally responsible, is the efforts of the organization to reduce the ecological footprint. So the company, through many efforts, they basically try to reduce their carbon footprint, their greenhouse gas emissions, their water footprint, the waste that they are disposing. So all these are done in order to reduce the ecological footprint. So one thing is, for example, a company might choose to replace all the fluorescent lights with LED lights in their offices. The second one is they may use solar power to work in their offices or for various other activities. The third one is the usage of clean energy. The fourth one is planting trees in their vicinity. So these are some steps that the company can take in order to reduce their ecological footprint. Another one could be installing water dispensers in the vicinity, so that people do not use as much disposable PET bottles, water bottles, or disposable cups. So these are some steps that can be taken to reduce the ecological footprint. And they can include reducing waste, investing in renewable energy, managing natural resources more efficiently, reducing electricity usage, reducing water consumption, proper and safe disposal of harmful chemicals. So sometimes what happens is, especially for pesticide and fertilizer making companies, that wherever the environmental laws are not strict, they choose to dispose of the chemicals, so in water bodies nearby, or basically without processing them. And they cause a lot of harm to the natural ecology around that particular industry. So this is something which is not good for the planet. And so basically a lot of companies are choosing to process whatever waste, chemical waste they have, before they can dispose it off in the environment. So this is something you can do. Then what you can do is you can improve logistics. By improving logistics means that you optimize the usage of logistics and you make them so efficient that it reduces waste. One of the good way to reduce waste is being very aware and very critically examining every step of your logistical cycle. So basically you need to see if the employees are traveling too much to reach the office. And sometimes companies offer to provide residential areas or residential houses to employees nearby near the office. So this is how you improve the logistics. And then you can install energy efficient appliances within the offices. You can reduce packaging waste. So these are some steps that include the improvement of logistics. So basically, why are we talking about the triple bottom line is because it is an important tool to measure a company's sustainable business practices. Now, what are the challenges for applying the triple bottom line? The first one is measuring the triple bottom line. How do you measure it? Because the financial aspect is something which you can see in numbers, it is quantitative, you can measure it. But the social and environmental impact, or the social or environmental bottom lines, how are you going to quantify it? Because both of these are qualitative and subjective. So, for example, how will you calculate the environmental impact of planting a particular uh, amount of trees in a vicinity? So you can get a rough estimate, but you will never be able to measure it as accurately as you measure the triple bottom line. Similarly, if you are running educational programs or healthcare programs in the community as a part of your CSR activity. So how are you going to measure it, calculate the impact? because a lot of it might be intangible impact. So to give you an example, for example, you open a hospital in some village. So one direct impact that you will be able to see is the maternal fertility might drop down. But something which is intangible out of this is people becoming more aware of healthcare, taking care of their health, and visiting the doctor for regular checkups. And so the economic expenditure or the burden on their pockets for healthcare, it drastically reduces, and hence it benefits them economically. So these are some benefits that are sometimes very difficult to calculate, and sometimes they are intangible. So for example, if you reduce the packaging waste, how are you going, so you can quantify basically the carbon emissions that you avoided, or the water that you avoided, the water wastage that you avoided. You can calculate the amount of plastic that you avoided, but you might not be able to calculate the environmental benefit that happened because you replaced it. Otherwise that amount of plastic would have been lying in the environment for decades. So there are many factors, many things which are impossible to calculate, impossible to quantify. So measuring the triple bottom line becomes a challenge in such a scenario, because you don't have parameters that can measure each and every aspect of the social and environmental bottom line. The second challenge in applying the triple bottom line is balance. So how will you decide what amount to invest in which bottom line? So basically, if you have some amount of money, suppose you have 1 crore rupees, how are you going to divide it amongst the three bottom lines? How much are you going to spend in profit making? How much are you going to spend in environment, and how much are you going to spend for social impact? So this is something which is again very subjective, and it is very difficult to find a balance. So some factor or some bottom line may react very quickly to even a small amount of investment, but some might not show that much of that much of impact with the initial investment. Sometimes it so happens that some impacts are exponential, some are linear. So taking into account all these complicated and complex factors and their interplay amongst each other, it is very difficult to say that what amount should you be spending in which bottom line. And hence it's very difficult to maintain a balance between the profit, people, and planet bottom line. The last topic which we have to see is, why should you not ignore the triple bottom line? So if you choose to ignore the triple bottom line, what happens? What does it mean? So the first thing is, it might lead to destruction of environment. So if you are only concerned about profits, you might not sometimes care about environmental issues. For example, sometimes big companies, they do not follow the safety procedures properly, and there are instances like oil spills. Now oil spills lead to destruction of the whole ecology around that area. It leads to killing of so many species. So this is in fact a result of ignoring the triple bottom line, because you did not feel like investing in safety measures, safety procedures. And now who is responsible, or who will calculate the damage that has been caused to the environment? Because all the ecology that has been destroyed had some value, whether in monetary terms or in other social and environmental terms. The second one is, it might sometimes lead to violation of laws. So uh, sometimes companies, they what they do is they try to take the low road. So what does that mean is, sometimes they'll choose to do some particular activity even if it's illegal, until they are caught. So if a crime is not going to cause huge repercussions, what they do is they in order to maximize the profits, they'll choose to violate that particular law and take the low road until they are caught, and then they easily get away with by paying the uh, amount by paying whatever is basically said by law. So this is one of the things that leads to that it leads to when you ignore the triple bottom line. The third one is the violation of human rights. So as I talked about earlier, is that companies choose to outsource their work to countries like Cambodia, India, China, Thailand, where labor laws are not very strict. So in such cases, it sometimes leads to violation of human rights for the people who are working in such inhumane conditions. So sometimes these people belong to marginalized communities and vulnerable communities which do not really have a voice. So in such case, it becomes very easy to exploit these people, and being in the lower area of the economic pyramid, these are the people who have no choice. Even if they're aware that they are being exploited, they do not have a choice to come out of that loop. So this is another factor. And the last one is the social license might get eroded. So the people might ultimately lose trust in some companies. So as the people have become more aware about environmental and social issues, the bar for companies has been raised. Now companies are expected to perform well on these factors too. They are expected to be responsible towards society and the environment. So if some incident like the oil spill happens, or if some some accident happens where employee gets hurt, or there is a news where the employees complain of bad business practices, or they complain of unfair wages, or they complain of discrimination. This is how slowly the people, maybe the consumer base of the company, might end up losing faith in the company, and their social license slowly gets eroded, which ultimately causes an impact on the financial profits of the company. But this is something which is seen in a very long run. And but when sometimes the company realizes that maybe they need to work on this, it's most of the times it's very late, and they end up losing their customer base. So these are some of the things. There can be many more, but these are the most important ones that happen when the companies or people choose to ignore the triple bottom line. So thank you. I will uh, include this source from which I am teaching down below, and these are some of the sources that I have referred to. So I hope you have understood the concept of triple bottom line, and you will be able to write about it or explain it wherever you need it. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.